Good morning everyone, welcome to story time. Today's book is a bit of a dirty one. It's called Snot My Day. Oh, snot. Snot My Day was written by Lisa Reagan and illustrated by Sarah Horn. Robbie is a grubby boy with dirt upon his knees. He doesn't clean his teeth or use a hanky when he sneezes. He burps out loud in public and flicks boogies at his dad. His habits are disgusting and it makes his family sad. Really, Robbie? Wipe your nose, it's making us feel sick. But Robbie doesn't listen. He just gives his lips a lick. Snot dribbles down his dirty face like melting candle wax. It mixes with his cornflakes and it trickles on his snacks. Ugh. His mummy sends him off to school with tissues for his nose, but Robbie doesn't use them. He just wipes them on his clothes. His sleeves have shiny markings like a snail has crawled along. Robbie doesn't care at all. He can't see how it's wrong. Achoo! His school friends are disgusted. They don't want to be so mean, but no one wants to get too close to someone so unclean. Then Robbie gets a cold one day and his nose becomes more runny. The green slime trickles down his face, but they just think it's funny. His teacher sends him home to bed as the snot begins to drool. Mummy tucks his sheets in. The mucus forms a pool. She puts a bucket on the floor. If you won't use a hanky, we'll have to catch it somewhere or your room will get so manky. Robbie reads his magazine and then drifts off to sleep. But his nose just keeps on running and the snot begins to creep. Along the floor and out the door it trickles down the stairs into the lounge and kitchen where it starts to pick up the chairs. It oozes through the cat flap and down the road it goes, sweeping up small creatures as on and on it flows. The snot wave surges through the park, startling all the ducks. It steadily grows higher as it covers passing trucks. Mr. Hughes is worried. He searches for his boat. It hasn't been used in ages, but he hopes it stays afloat. He rides the waves of gloopy green and paddles into town. He wants to stage a rescue so that nobody will drown. Mum looks out and gives a scream. Ah! It's Mrs. Yale from number 4. Dad paddles down the hallway and pulls hard upon the door. He tugs and tugs, but it's no use. The door is firmly stuck. I can't get out, he hollers. It's glued tight with all this yuck. The family don't know what to do. They move upstairs in fright. I'll search on Google, that might help. Hey, look! I found a site. They dial up emergencies. We have a dire situation. A tidal wave of mucus is threatening the nation. The voice stays calm. They'll handle this and send out their best team. They'll assess the situation, for it does sound quite extreme. Soon there's a thrumming in the air. They look up and see a chopper. It's the Special Forces unit. An airborne booger stopper. The helicopter hovers high above with tissues at the ready. They'll drop them onto Robbie's house as the pilot holds her steady. Then someone yells, "Look out below!" and the crew begin to curse. If things look bad when they arrived, now they've just got worse. Screams and yells pass through the town as people start to shake. This is more than just a tidal wave, it's a monster booger quake. Let's do it, team, the pilot roars. We have to stop this beast. He pulls down on the lever and the tissues are released. Gotcha, hollers Robbie, and he sits up in his bed. Mummy wipes his sweaty face and puts a cold cloth on his head. Poor darling boy, it's just a dream, it's going to be all right. Your cold gave you a fever and dreadful dreams all night. Now Robbie's cold has disappeared and his nose is not so runny. Best of all, he's cleaner now and no longer thinks it's funny to sneeze and cough and let germs spread. For here's what Robbie knows, a habit that gets out of hand just grows and grows and grows. Oh, what a snotty book. What are some ways Robbie could have been cleaner? He could have used a tissue for his nose. He could, well, when you sneeze, do you sneeze out into the air? Or should you do something? Should you catch it? Do you catch it in your hand? Chew! Ugh, not very clean, because now all the germs are on your hand, and if you touch something, you're spreading germs. Where should we catch the sneeze instead? What about your elbow? Tray! Into the elbow. So now the germs are here. But does your elbow touch anything? Not really. So it's a much better place to catch your germs. What's another thing he could do? Maybe after using a tissue on his nose, what should you do with that tissue? Do you just leave it where you're playing? No, because then someone else might touch it. Should you pick it up and throw it outside? No, that'll make rubbish and it's still spreading the germs. So where should you put that tissue when you're finished? I think it should definitely go in the bin. But after putting it in the bin, do we maybe still have some germs left on our fingers where we touched the tissue? What do we need to do next? We need to wash our hands. But how do we wash our hands? We don't just rub our hands together underwater. That doesn't work. We need to use 2 pumps of soap and we need to rub the fronts, rub the backs, rub in between our fingers, the fingertips, and last of all is the wrists. Once that's done, you rinse your hands with the water, you grab some paper towel and dry them. And don't forget, the paper towel needs to go in the bin. Now we're nice and clean. We won't be like Robbie spreading all those germs, spreading all that booger. Ugh. Well, I can't wait to see what our next book will be. I hope it's just as fun as this one. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye everyone.